Hello everyone. Today we're going to start with a multi-cloud chatbot and we'll be starting with a sample called as scorebot with CLU. So as you must be all aware that Lewis will be discontinued from 2025 and you will not be able to create resources from the next month, that is April 2023. So Microsoft introduced Language Studio and Lewis replacement is the CLU, that is Conversational Language Understanding. We'll be making use of this particular sample. So to start with, I'll just clone this particular repository and then start with that sample. All right. So the name is Cognitive Services Samples, and I'll be just copy pasting this particular project outside. Let me get rid of these projects that I had tried earlier, but as per the suggestions in the comment box in our previous videos, you want to get started with the CLU template, so I have picked this one. All right, so this I'll be renaming as Multicloud Chatbot. And then let's open the solution and get started. As you must be aware that we are building this chatbot for the Microsoft Teams channel. All right, so let's see what's the issue up here initially. Let's try to build this solution before renaming our solution. Okay, build is succeeded. And also let me check what .NET Core version this project supports. So it is .NET Core 3.1. We need it to be .NET 6 or 7. So in that case, we cannot use this particular sample. We will be making use of our CoreBot sample and then connecting it through the CLU. That will be better options instead of wasting time in resolving the dependencies and upgrading the .NET version, right? So what I'll do, I already have that repository, and let me go back and pick up the bot builder samples. So this repository you might already be aware. So I'll be picking up from here and this particular project. And this let's rename to multi-cloud chatbot. Okay, and let's create another instance so that we take reference from the CLU as well as start building our new bot. Let me quickly. So let's rename this to Multicloud Bot and create a new folder, Multicloud Chatbot. All right, and this one I'll be putting up here. So I'll tell you the reason. The reason being, so once I open this solution, well, basically the project in Visual Studio, I want to save my solution file outside this project so that if I have some dependent projects, those will be coming up here. So this is my bot project, and if I have some common project, model classes, repository projects, so everything will be coming up here along with the solution file. All right. So let's open that again. Okay, so here you see it got created the solution file, but we do not want that. Let's get rid of that and let's see. So on the Windows side, we do get an option to configure our solution file, but here I am not finding that option. So that means I have to manually do it. Okay, so here is my solution file. Let's move this to here and delete this one. In order to refer to the projects, I have to manually edit this. So here in the solution file, we do have the location of our project. So currently it says that core bot. So it's not pointing to that since earlier the solution file was inside there. So I can directly refer to that without any path. So this is the project name and this is the path. So multi-cloud bot, this slash, and yeah, that is all. Save. Okay, now we can try to open this solution. Open. Yeah, now it is pointing to the particular location, and then let me check the properties. So I'm aware that Microsoft has updated all their solution to .NET 6. So this is pretty good. And then now we have to change our solution name as well as project name. So I'll be renaming this to multi-cloud, and I'll be renaming this particular to bot, just the bot. Okay, so if I have multiple projects inside that, so I'll be making use of all of them. Okay, and now I need to adjust our namespace. So wherever Microsoft.bot builder samples are there, I'll be renaming them to multicloud.bot. So let's search this one, Control F. Okay, so I have to do Control Shift F so that I can select search in whole solution and I can replace it like this. So multicloud dot bot. So let's match case, match whole word, and replace all. And that did replace everything. Let's quickly check in dialogues class, and there we have multicloud dot bot. Dot. Bot. Dot. Dialogues. Correct? Dialogues. Dot. Bot. Dot. Dialogues. Correct? Multicloud dot bot. Dot. Dialogues. Correct? Multicloud dot bot. Dot. Dialogues. Correct? Multicloud dot bot. Dot. Dialogues. Correct? Okay, so this seems to be fine. Now let's restart this one, and before that let me see if we can upgrade some of the NuGet packages. And before that we have to verify what all NuGet packages are installed, and let's see if we can upgrade them. So it is 4.18 and it is upgradable to 4.19. So that's the latest version. So let's try to use the latest version, and I'll be upgrading this, and I'll not be upgrading Newtons of JSON because I'm working on .NET 6, and this particular Newtons of JSON is pointing to .NET 7. Okay, so as you can see on the bottom left corner, updating 4 packages. Okay, so now we have upgraded them. So if to check if everything is working correctly, let me just run this project. And here we have some issue. So what's that? Bot builder.ai dot Lewis v3 Lewis prediction. Okay, yeah. So basically it is pointing to the old Lewis that we do not want. So what I'll do, I'll just comment this code. All right. So let's see if we do not have any other issues. Okay, perfect. Now, now the next job is to test this out. Let me copy this endpoint URL and then let's test in the bot framework emulator. Okay, so it says bot encountered an error. To continue. Okay, let's see what is the error. For that, I'll be putting a breakpoint up here so that we come to know the error message. And error is value cannot be null, stream. Okay, so in order to test that, let's go to main dialog and see. Let's put a breakpoint here. Lewis recognizer is configured. Okay, since we have commented that piece of code, that is why that error. Alright, so what I'll do, I'll just get rid of all of this content. So I'm just getting rid of all the content with regard to the flight booking bot, and also let's get rid of booking dialog, cancel, let's keep it, date resolver, booking details, flight booking recognizer. Okay, and cognitive models, let's get rid of the whole folder, and yeah, now it seems to be fine. Okay, all right, so in order to not to get any exceptions, let's get rid of all the references of the deleted files. And here let's add a returns await step context dot next async. So we are just moving to the next step without doing any operation. All right, and there will be some reference in the startup.cs file. Let's get rid of this. and the booking dialog. Okay, now seems to be fine. Let's restart the solution. Restart the bot. I should get a welcome message. No. Okay, value cannot be null. So where it is pointing to? Let's see what else we have in the dialog bot. Let's see app settings.json. Okay, so these are not required. I'm just putting a breakpoint here and here just to see why it is getting us the value cannot be null. Okay, it comes up here. So at the starting only I'm getting value cannot be null. Let's restart the project and see. Okay, so on members added, it is coming up here. Let's see the locals. Two members are added. Create adaptive card. Okay, so there's an issue with the adaptive card. So it says create adaptive card and then, okay, so this is the path you see. So since we have changed the reference, so now it is pointing to the old path. So this time we have to change it to bot, just the bot, and restart. Let's continue. And there we have the welcome message. All right, so we have set up our project and configured it. So let's continue. Stack Overflow has been thrown. That's fine. All right, so something happened. It got closed. That's fine. Okay, so now we have configured everything. Now we can change some of the code so that on the next session we can directly start. The first piece of code that we want to handle is updating this T activity handler to the Teams activity handler, because we will be building this chatbot for the Teams channel. So let's hover over that and get import that one. Okay. And the next piece is we have to include the CLU code, and that we can get it from here. So cognitive samples, cobot with CLU, cobot with CLU. Okay. So let's see the code. So first thing is, since the library has not still released, they have created this custom code inside the solution. So basically everything, this piece of code should be part of a library, and they have not released that library yet. Okay. So what we'll be doing, we'll be just copy pasting the whole piece into our project. Okay. So we have copy pasted that piece of code up here, and now let's rename the namespaces. So the namespace is multicloud dot bot. Similarly, let me copy paste this for the other class files. .clu. Yeah, this is the one. Okay. and we need to install this particular NuGet package. Okay, perfect. Now let's see what all piece of code needs to be imported up there. The next piece should be maybe any changes here in the dialog bot. Nope, no changes. And let's see in the dialog and welcome bot, no changes. Let's check the dialog class. Here the changes will be there. There is flight booking recognizer. So we'll be updating this piece of code. So we'll be making the changes that let's create a new file. CLU recognizer. Okay, it's already there. Let's not rename multi-cloud recognizer. Okay, and now let's copy paste the exact same piece of code. All right. So now let's go to our main dialog and see what needs to be added up there. So we have added the flight booking recognizer. Basically in our case it's multi-cloud recognizer. And how we have to call that? So we can check using this particular method, that is loose CLE recognizer is configured. And what is this CLE recognizer? Okay, that particular, basically in our case it is multi-cloud recognizer, and this is how we get the result from the CLU. Alright, so let's quickly add this particular statement. Just to keep some reference in our code, and then we'll get rid of the previous code. Okay, in our case we need to add that flight booking recognizer. So that is private read only multi-cloud recognizer. So let's rename this to CLU recognizer. Let's import that. Multi-cloud recognizer, multi-cloud recognizer. Let's use the same naming convention. All right. So this seems to be fine, and now let's call this piece of code and for the reference. So I'm just adding that piece of code just to update it later, so that once we call the all this, once we send our utterance to the CLU, and then based on that we'll get the results. All right, so I'll be stopping here for now, and then On our next session, we'll be continuing by changing the welcome message and then moving ahead with the authentication part and so on. Okay, thanks everyone. See you in the next session.